right, now, still in the USA, but this time in the NBA, Memphis Grizzlies guard Moran has been suspended for 25 games without pay for conduct detrimental to the NBA. Morant, 23, was suspended from all team activities in May after appearing to hold a gun in a social media video for the second time in 2 months. His return is subject to completing an NBA program that directly addresses the circumstances that led him to repeat this destructive behavior. Those are the words of the NBA. Morant was suspended for 8 games after the initial incident in March. On that occasion, a video showed the All-Star guard, who was the second overall draft pick in 2019, holding a gun in a Colorado nightclub, after which he apologized and said he would get help. Moran said he was committed to continuing to work on himself after the latest incident, when during a live broadcast on Instagram, he posed with a gun in a car with several other individuals as they left a social gathering in Memphis. The 2023-2024 NBA season begins in October, with each team playing 82 regular season games. The NBA said that Moran's suspension begins immediately and will remain in effect for the first 25 games for which he is otherwise eligible and able to play. The National Basketball Players Association, the league's players union, criticized the length of the ban. Morant is an athlete, and with athletes, there's an implied responsibility of being an idol to young players, to young people, to children in general. I think that is what has come to bear on this particular issue regarding him displaying a gun on 2 occasions on video, on a live stream. He, as an American, has a Second Amendment right to own a gun. So, and there hasn't been any conversation about him potentially being in possession of the gun illegally. So, it seems here it's all about the moral values of the NBA weighed against his right, his legal right to own a gun. What do you think?
So, basically, I think we had this discussion, or let me say we had this discussion off air when we were talking about the sportsmen being mentors to fans and all that. I feel like we place too much expectation on these guys. These guys are entertainers.
Yeah.
Yes, we see them as footballers, but they are entertainers. And I feel like we place too much expectation on them. Let's go back to the late Diego Maradona, God rest his soul. He was one of the, if not the greatest player of all time in his time, but he was riddled with a lot of drug cases. Even at the time, he was banned from the game. So would you say because he was great on the pitch, he has to be great as a person? They are two different things. Even away from football, we go to boxing. We saw the likes of Mike Tyson. He great in his time. He was also suspended from the game. He even went to prison. Came out as an ex-convict. Came back into the boxing ring, and we saw how it all ended for him. So we place too much expectation on sportsmen. They are entertainers. And look at Moran, for example, now. This is the second time he's getting suspended. The first time he was suspended was in March, when he was given an 8-game ban for wielding a gun after leaving a social gathering. Now again, he's doing the same act, wielding a gun. So are you trying to pass? And this is a United States economy where there is sensitive fight against gun violence, right? They are looking at how to pass the bill. They are looking at how to reduce deaths caused by gun violence. And here you are, an NBA star, and you're wielding a gun on social media where you have a lot of following. So he's going to forfeit salaries close to like $669,000 in the next 25 games. That's when the 2023-2024 NBA season starts. And I think that should be caution to other stars as well. We've seen rape cases for football stars. We've seen scandals. And now gone the hated misconduct. It's getting too much.
Speaking about the emphasis that is placed on the shoulders of athletes to be role models, to be perfect individuals that demonstrate the best qualities for young people to follow. I remember years ago when Wayne Rooney was playing, he famously said the F word. He dropped the F bomb while playing. He scored a goal, ran to the camera, and he said it. He was so energetic about it. And there was all this discussion about a suspension for him, about him not being a good role model. He had to come out and apologize. In that scenario, I mean, he was in the course of playing the sport. So I could understand, even though I didn't necessarily agree with it, because even young people over there are saying the word all the time. But in this case, it is a much more serious charge. Holding a deadly weapon on camera, demonstrating a kind of nonchalance about it that could send the wrong message, regardless of whether he has a Second Amendment right to own the gun. It seems to me that, especially since he did it a second time, it seems to me that this ban was inevitable. They couldn't not give it to him, not give him something lengthy to prevent future incidents such as this from him or from other players.
Yeah, so we are conversant with that adage, or is it an adage or a proverb or whatever that says once bitten, twice shy, right?
Yeah.
If it happens 2 times, then you need to look at yourself again. So this is the second time caught red-handed and it's been served, right? Apart from missing the games, he's not going to participate in any public activities of the league. He's not going to participate in any public activities of his club, which means he may not even be able to go to the court to watch these games live, right? So the sanctions affected both his game and his life. Although he's having some backing, he apologized yesterday on social media, and his weird sponsor Nike also supported him by saying they are behind him, they are happy he's taking accountability and is remorseful, blah, blah, blah. They are going to support him on and off the field. That's fine for him. But beyond that, we need to see a dynamic change, a paradigm shift in mentality. You are a star, and people watch you.
I know, but here's the thing, though. I know that this is an extreme situation, and something had to be done. The NBA had no choice, regardless of what the players' unions say. The ban had to be applied, whether it needed to be as long as 25 games, more or less. However, doesn't this set a precedence that in the future, the NBA, given whatever moral standards they're trying to set, regardless of the fact, let's even ignore the player's right to have a personal life and to demonstrate that personal life in whatever fashion, that as long as it's legal, he's legally entitled to. Doesn't this set a precedence that in the future, whatever moral message the NBA is trying to stand against, they're going to say every player who signs up for our game, which by the way is a monopoly, you don't have the option of going anywhere else in the USA and playing at that level. They could just say we don't want players to wear certain clothes because that clothing brand demonstrates or projects a message of violence, of anti-gay, anti-transgender messages. We don't want our players to demonstrate any kind of message on their shirts or live their lives in any way that may put out a message that we don't agree with. Doesn't this send that kind of precedence? Quickly.
So basically, I think that US as a whole needs to do more when it comes to sports. Adam Silver, who is the commissioner for the NBA, I mean, he's starting, right, by putting out sanctions. I remember when there was a coach or was it a club owner who was involved in sexual harassment in the NBA. He was also fined swiftly. And then we saw what came out of it. So I think they are beginning to do their best in the sanctions they're bringing out. Talking about how extreme the act is. I mean, the media tagged Morel's apology as an apology seems to have been written by ChatGPT. Imagine that showed that his apology was just like scripted. There's no remorse. You gave the same apology the first time you did it. You said you work on yourself. You're doing it again. You said you work on yourself. Who says that after the 25 game ban and you come back, you won't do it again in December when Christmas is around and you go out to flex again?
All right.
So there needs to be shifter statements and a strong stand against it. But the first step is sanction, and they're already doing that.
All right. Thank you, Gbenga Gboyega, for joining us on the show. Sports analyst from Abuja. Always a pleasure discussing sports stories with you on Plus Sports.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. And to everyone at home or at work, it is Saturday, but some people do work on Saturdays. Wherever you are, opportune to watch us on Plus Sports, on Plus TV Africa. This has been Plus Sports Special, the Saturday edition. Remember, life is never boring with some sports. My name, as always, is Mikhail Tinubu. Do have a wonderful weekend ahead.